Hi everyone. A week back, Shaper announced that they are starting to sell a Shaper collet kit. This kit contains 5 collets for your Shaper Origin and costs $180 or 160 euro in Europe. Now that's a lot of money, and if you're new to the Shaper world and don't have additional collets yet, you might have asked yourself if this kit is worth its money or not. This video aims at answering the question, is the Shaper collet kit really worth it? To help you understand this question, let's look at the content of this kit. It contains 5 collet sizes: 3mm, 1/8 of an inch, 6mm, 1/4 of an inch, and 8mm. Let me go through all these collets, provide additional information about them, and tell you what they will cost you if you buy them separately. The smallest collet is for 3mm bits. Now, if you know me, you know that I do experiment a lot with different bits. That means I spend a lot of time exploring the internet for bits that might be interesting to use with a Shaper Origin. In all this time, I have never found a bit with a 3mm shank size that I felt compelled to buy, nor do I have such a bit in my workshop. Most small bits for CNC routing use an 1/8 of an inch shank size. Therefore, I think that most Shaper users won't need that collet at all. Let me therefore cross that out and tell you that you don't need that one. Now let's move to the 1/8 of an inch collet. That collet is actually the most important one, and I do think that every Shaper Origin user should have it. It will enable you to use small CNC router bits that are super useful. You can buy that collet in the US for $46 and in Europe for 40 euro. Let's move on to the 6mm collet. That is probably the collet I use the least, as most of my bits have 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, or 8mm shanks. But there are a few bits that I have with 6mm shanks, and you stumble over that size a couple of times when browsing for bits. Personally, I think you can navigate around that one, but for the sake of convenience, let's assume you buy it for $56 in the US or 45 euro in Europe. Now let's move on to the 1/4 inch collet. That collet is the one you get with your Shaper Origin in the US. I am using the Shaper Origin for many years now, and my collet didn't break. Therefore, I don't think you need this at all if you have the US version of the Shaper Origin. If you have the EU version, then you can buy that collet for 50 euro. The last collet in the kit is the 8mm one. That one is included in the EU version of the Shaper Origin, therefore European users don't need it. But I recommend people in the US to buy it for $44, as there are many bits that come with 8mm shank sizes. So now let's do the math. Assuming that you don't need the 3mm collet and you don't need to have a spare collet for the one you already received with your Shaper Origin, that leaves you with an investment of $146 in the US or 135 euro in Europe. Compare that to the $180 or 160 euro cost for the collet kit, and you see that you can save some money if you have a limited budget. In my opinion, this kit only makes sense for people who do need the 3mm collet. In that case, the collet kit will pretty much give you a collet for free, which would be a spare collet for the one you received with your Shaper. So my answer to the question if the Shaper collet kit is worth it, probably not. That's it. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and see you around.